What is up, guys? Kevin Cage back with another XRP update. If you want daily crypto news, be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. Please stick around until the end of this video. I will let you guys know where I'm at in terms of my current trades, my approach with this market, and then I'll also show you a funny video at the end if I'm able to, if I don't get a copyright strike. So without further ado, let's get into it. I wanted to start off sharing a quote that I do often share every few months. This is by Mark Yusko, founder, CEO of Morgan Creek Capital Management. Now, obviously, I apply this to my XRP investment, just like many others. You can apply this to whatever you want across the board, and I think that this quote in particular rings very, very true. Right here, the greatest wealth is created by being an early investor in innovation. Making that investment requires believing in something before the majority of people understand it. You will be mocked, ridiculed, and criticized for your non-consensus action. It is absolutely worth it. And I highly recommend going to status.hr, the website. Dario in the XRP community provides all of these amazing quotes and even infographics for XRP if you are brand new to better understand this ecosystem. Let's keep going. So, more fun on the way, no surprise, shared by the block. Grayscale says it will dissolve the XRP trust, citing market reaction to the SEC lawsuit. Tinfoil hat time. I believe that to some extent this has all been orchestrated in the past. That is just my belief from several years of research. Teach their own, guys. Do what is best for you. I will be holding my XRP and I will be accumulating as always. Nothing's changing. I did not come this far to come this far, and we're going to talk about some big XRP and Ripple news as well. So keep in mind, Grayscale is a subsidiary of DCG Digital Currency Group. They have some big changes, like Barry Silbert's working on some new things. There's a new CEO for Grayscale, and interestingly enough, now they're dissolving XRP. Now, I understand the liquidity issues for shareholders getting in and out of the market. That is a valid concern, so I don't really blame them for whatever they're deciding here, but I just want to read you this quote briefly. So the sponsor has liquidated the XRPs, or the trust's XRP, and intends to distribute the net cash proceeds to trust shareholders after deducting expenses and providing appropriate reserves, and subject to any applicable withholding. The trust will eliminate or terminate following distribution of the net cash proceeds. Interesting. We're gonna, keep a close eye on this, and also referring to Tetragon, an early investor in the company Ripple, and trying to take advantage of this situation. We know nothing really is going to come of this. Keep in mind they'd have to declare XRP a security on a go-forward basis for them to even, get some equity and, take advantage of the situation further. We remember what happened to cryptos such as Kin with the SEC lawsuit, shooting up 2,000% after. We know EOS, they got a slap on the wrist. They paid, millions in fines. Some, organizations spend hundreds of millions in fines. And yes, Ripple is one of those groups that can afford it. And it almost makes you wonder, speculation, this is full speculation, why they did, convert and liquidate some of their MoneyGram holdings. Were they preparing for this? Why did XLM burn, 50% of their supply in the past? Were they preparing and hedging and protecting themselves ahead of time? What is really going on? We're talking about, everybody's missing the point of Tether, the elephant in the room. Everybody's concerned with the escrow of XRP that Ripple holds that is locked via contracts. I don't really understand. I think this is just the greatest sleight of hand trick that's ever going to be played in this transfer of wealth, and we are going to be monitoring this. So try to keep a healthy perspective. I'm doing my very best, but so I guarantee things are not what they seem. Okay? And reality is often much stranger than fiction. Much stranger. Okay, so we'll go over the unstoppable domains news in a minute, but I want to show you some big things for Ripple, the company. So right here, XRP Crypto Wolf. Ripple partnered with Bcash and mobile money through RippleNet to power wallet-to-wallet remittances. Again, breaking down the borders, I'm going to show you some rough numbers here of getting into new on-demand liquidity corridors. Now keep in mind, this is right from the article. Leverages DLT to deliver financial services from bidirectional messages. Both directions, guys, something that correspondent banking does not really offer. Yes, Swift GPI does, and yes, Xcurrent does, but we've come a long way. All of this infrastructure for the globe is 40 years old, built pre-internet, pre-digital era. Is it that outlandish to think that it's time to revolutionize and update our systems? Settlements, enter XRP, invisible protocol at the bottom of the payment stack under all of the applications that we see. Just like you and I, we don't know how credit cards work when we swipe them. We don't care. We just care that our money works and we're able to spend it. This is what's going to happen in the correspondent banking model, threatening the big players like JP Morgan. And you know what's happening? They will lose eventually. And they're not going down without a fight. And we're going to talk about narratives, of course, with, Facebook's Libra, the rise of Bitcoin. All of this is playing a role, and they're all having a rippling effect. But there is going to be an inevitable outcome, in my opinion. Liquidity management and line of credit to global partners. Guys, LOC is specifically utilizing XRP. There's nothing else, no other crypto. It's specifically allowing RippleNet users, hundreds of them, to essentially buy XRP on a credit card. And guess what happens with interest? Creates interest out of thin air, additional demand. Same thing that we see in, the world of fractional reserve banking. So some rough estimates right here, guys. We know Southeast Asia is a huge part of Ripple strategy, along with Brazil in South America. So when we're paying attention to these trends, I don't really care what the US does, because Ripple will move outside the US. They're going to do what is best for them. 80 to 90% of all their volume and transactions and money flow and partners exist outside of the United States. That is why I'm looking at this long term, holding my XRP and not, worrying about the noise. All right. So notice here, right here, which serves over 45 million users, the partnership will power seamless wallet-to-wallet payments to serve the remittance corridor between Malaysia and Bangladesh. Next point I wanted to share. With Malaysia ranking was one of the top 5 sources of remittances for Bangladesh. And remember, guys, we talked about remittance fees, 7%, 10%, even 13% in certain regions. That's ridiculous. That is, we are not only going to be approaching real-time payments, we're going to be approaching payments that are essentially zero cost, or at least as close as possible. We understand it's fractions of a penny via XRP. Through this partnership, Mobile Money is also anticipating an increase in its user base of Bangladeshi workers by 20% as it enables them to better serve their user base. This is why I'm so confident in this ecosystem. You can look at the CAGR, the annual growth of e-commerce and payments. These trends are your friends. They will not lie long term. Yes, short term, speculatively speaking, anything can happen. Price swings, yes. Keep in mind. So this year, 2020, we saw XRP go from 25 cents to 92 cents. And people are still calling it a scam during that time. In 2017, at the very end, within 3 weeks, we went from 22 cents to $3.84. Yes, that's crazy, but these are the typical crazy, speculative, volatile moves of a young, nascent market. And guess what? We are maturing despite what most think. Today, the global cryptocurrency market cap is over $1 trillion. That has caught a lot of attention. Even if we go below it short term, there is eyes on this space. And do not be fooled. Yes, retailers are finally paying attention, but the institutions have been in this game for years, since 2015 at the very least, and I will show you more proof of that like always. And I believe it was Brianne Madigan of Ripple saying in fall of, 2019, before the March 2020 crash, we saw XRP go all the way down to like 11 cents. She explained, which was really interesting that she explained it then. She explained essentially that it's the sign of a maturing asset class or even asset to withstand massive corrections or crashes in value and be able to bounce back from there and still redevelop, rebuild ample liquidity in healthy order books or healthy spreads within these order books. XRP has done this time and time again for the last 8 years. So I don't really care about what the critics have to say in the YouTube comments or anywhere else, because I'm in charge of my own money and my own decisions. I'm not going to blame anybody, and I'm surely not going to thank anybody. It's going to be me and me at the end of the day, me versus me. So I'm going to continue holding, ignoring the critics as always, and being a contrarian investor is not easy, but it will be worth it, just like Mark Yusko shares. And I just want to share this really quick. If Bitcoin faces, say, a 50% drop or candle in the future, which is absolutely possible. I mean, same thing with going up. I guarantee there's going to be news saying something about Tether and fraud and conspiracies having something to do with it. So be aware. We're going to be talking about that in a minute as well. All right. Right here, our partnership with Ripple makes us one of the first few e-wallet companies to offer such digital remittance solutions to Bangladeshi workers, and we are confident that it will enable us to stay ahead of the competition while expanding our user base. I would be worried if Ripple was not going to succeed, but I'm watching their user base. I'm watching B-Tech. I'm watching all of these companies, and I'm watching them scale massively. So when I see a company like Ripple that was valued at $10 billion at the end of 2018, doing something that has never been done before, not following a roadmap, actually innovating and helping customers scale locations. New offices are launched, bringing fees down from 10% to 2% and now threatening Western Union. Yeah, I get very cocky in seeing the bottom line grow in the years ahead long term. So you guys decide for yourselves. I am just excited for all of this to pay off. And I've been through it. I've seen it. There's people, probably you guys watching, have been in this market way longer than me, and I know you agree. Right here, Naveen Gupta of Ripple, Managing Director of South Asia and MENA, Middle East, Northern Africa region. As Ripple is bolstering our presence in South Asia, and that's just one region, guys, we are excited to contribute to the infrastructure of the region to transform the way cross-border payments are executed. And then the same reference that Crypto Wolf shared right there. So just wanted to point that out. Now, one more thing, just to keep you guys focused and understand how big this ecosystem is for Ripple and XRP and essentially every single crypto asset that's aiming to mitigate and at least help this cross-border payments landscape. So we're going to go right, I think it's right here. Where am I? Okay, right here. So old but gold. And I would just want to reference a few things that we know from years ago and then apply it to today. So remember, Ripple partnered with Finastra. You may have heard of them in 2019, and we're going to get into that, but keep in mind how big Finastra is when they partnered with Ripple. Now we have RippleNet Cloud. We can connect via a single API. Marcus Treacher commentary on the board and HSB background on the HSBC background on the board of Swift. These people are not small-time people. They are very smart and know what they're doing. They are the top, the cream of the crop. And I know Marcus Treacher just left Ripple. We see this time and time again. New people come, new people leave. It is just a game of chess. So Finastra, 2017, we've talked about Missus and D&H joining forces to become the world's third largest fintech firm. 9,000 customers, 130 countries, and of the top 50 banks in the world, they are connected to the top 48. Now, everyone goes, oh, Ripple has, 300, 400 customers. Yeah, directly. What do they have indirectly, guys? 9,000 customers right here by plugging into Finastra, which is already a fact. And they have other, global applications and platforms like Fusion. And we've talked about Finastra being connected to CLS, which is literally going to be the backbone for cross-border payments. So yeah, that's why I get excited. Is it all dot connecting? Let's see what happens in the coming years, all right? So we also have to apply Pareto's law, the 80-20 principle. So just like Swift has, 10,000, 11,000 organizations, well, the top 20% of that group, so the top 20% of those 10,000 organizations, 2,000 organizations, often have or do 80% of the payment transactions in volume. So rather than Ripple having to get all 10,000 or 11,000 organizations, maybe they just focus on the top 20%, which has 80% of the prize. And that is the way I see things. That is a common term and principle in business as well. So these are the things I consider. And network effects are very powerful. Yes, there's other technologies that might settle faster, but that's not all I look at as an investor. I'm looking at the fundamentals. I'm looking at the partnerships. When you invest into an asset or a company, you're investing into the people. That is what I'm looking at, and I've done my due diligence. So Finastra, hundreds of customers will have access to RippleNet just right there. And you guys can go see all of this talking about on-demand liquidity, leveraging XRP. Finastra's collaboration with Ripple, and this was in 2019, and I'm just painting a picture, with Ripple is another strong example of Finastra's belief. And this is the quote from the president of Finastra, by the way. This isn't just me pulling it out of thin air to convince you. So Finastra's belief that the future of finance is open. So interesting, just like we saw with Bcash and mobile money, now we see Finastra, one of the, right there, the third largest fintech group in the world with 9,000 customers, with the top 48 of the top 50 banks in the world, saying the future of finance is open, breaking down the borders. If we have crypto that cannot interoperate, or Bcash and mobile money cannot work together and switch between wallets, crypto failed. DLT is about financial inclusion, and we are taking advantage of an open source protocol, investing in assets that anybody can get access to, but very few actually even understand what this is about right now. We're ridiculed, we're mocked, we're doubted, and the funny thing is, they're all going to come back when these alts are surpassing all-time high for real. I'm not talking about these little speculative pumps. I'm talking about when utility takes place and all of us nutcases actually realize, wow, most people realize, wow, they may have been onto something. All right. So talked about that. Let me see where I'm at now. I keep losing track. Apologies. And then also, this is just other news. This has nothing to do with XRP, so stay cool. I'm not saying it does. KBC Bank chooses Finastra for LIBOR transition. Notice Fusion Loan IQ is Finastra's solution for commercial lending, guys. Syndicated lending, group lending, I should say, right here, powering 71% of all syndicated loans around the world. Now, it just makes me think. Everyone's focusing on DLT. They're all focusing on, look, improving risk management because it's automated, increasing transparency because it's public for people that have, permission to see it, simplifying entry into new markets, business lines. There's so many benefits. This is DLT based. And this is what all these institutions are doing. They're future proofing to stay relevant so that other countries or other competitors do not take, the cake. And that is the truth. All right, now we're going to keep going. Stick around with me, please. Right here, Unstoppable Domains putting this out. So we know Unstoppable Domains is part of the Open Payments Coalition with Ripple as a founding member and PayString, formerly PayID. Overall, this whole group of all these exchanges and platforms and wallets have 100 million people user base. That is huge. So now we have Litecoin Foundation bringing us into the Litecoin fam. Interestingly enough, we do know that Flare Networks is also doing a drop for Litecoin holders as well. So there's a lot happening for Litecoin. To be completely honest, I usually, I kind of crap on Litecoin and LTC as a project, but watch. I mean, there's a lot of investors, even institutional investors. So very interesting. So there could be more to this that, meets the eye. Just, I'm not buying a Litecoin. I'm not holding it. I'm sure it will probably do well if, Bitcoin and, the market pulls it up. I'm not touching it because I do not understand it well enough compared to others. And I'm just not a big proof of work consensus type of guy. All right. So you guys can get your domain. Notice here, just to show you a quick video, links are in the video description. So just like for Unstoppable Domains, the links are in the video description. I have kevincage.crypto in the top right, as I'm sure you guys can see. And I've linked at least Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. I think I have maybe Link and VeChain as well. So if you send VeChain or XRP to kevincage.crypto, it'll go right to me into that specific crypto wallet instead of, typing in a long serial number. So this person's sending it to their friend paycarry.crypto because that's their domain or email for their address. And then when they submit it, it'll actually generate a Litecoin address right there. So that's the address tied to that domain. So super nice transparency, breaking down the walls. There's a lot of groups working on this initiative, but I think Unstoppable Domains has one of the biggest followings and user bases out there. So very exciting. All right. So Litecoin right here. Litecoin and Cardano have teased plans to conduct a velvet fork bridging their two chains together with .crypto domains, compatibility across 35 plus wallets and 80 supported cryptos. Litecoin Foundation and Unstoppable Domains anticipate the collaboration will be a critical next step forward in a unified and frictionless crypto ecosystem. Love that. And just like David Schwartz says, right there. Oh, is this another David Schwartz? Interesting. Okay. I'll have to go check that. Anyways, let's keep going. I'm not going to read this just because he is one of my buddies. I do not want this YouTube video to get removed. I don't want my Twitter to get deleted. I'm just going to leave this here. I encourage you guys to screenshot it. And all I'm saying is I am not ruling this out. I've been probably mentioning this once a week for the past 4 months. And this is just an option that is very possible in this ecosystem. This is not to scare you. This is to inform you. So act accordingly. As everybody knows, I'm on Patreon. I closed out of all active trades earlier this afternoon. I'm currently 50% cash. I have my long-term holdings I will not touch, and I'm just sitting until I can better read the market. I think that we're essentially expecting some volatility these next 2 months. So could I miss out on some profits? Potentially, but I'd much rather miss out, on some profits rather than risk and lose, 80% of my portfolio. All right. So keep in mind, Crypto Whale, his profile was temporarily restricted. So he is right here if you guys want to follow him. Whale Circle is his handle. Very smart guy. He's been in the ecosystem. I mean, I'm pretty certain he's a Bitcoin whale. He did buy XRP in 2013. So you guys do the math. All right. Always super humble, super informative. Next, Michael Val 5 links. I wanted to cover this since it goes hand in hand with Tether. Right here, Bitfinex, another exchange. General Counsel has dismissed the notion that only 74% of the Tether stablecoin is in circulation is fully backed. They insist the stablecoin is fully backed by assets that include cash equivalents, as well as Bitcoin. Be aware, I've been reading through all of this, seeing the opinions, the number of allegations, it's rising, there's fear, there's uncertainty. Tomorrow's the 15th. I know that's just for technical deadlines that they have to submit. There's no official decision that comes out tomorrow. But I'm just being careful, erring on the side of caution. I encourage you guys to look into it, read it. Don't get scared out of the market per se, but I'm not holding any tether. I'm not going to be transacting in any tether, and the ticker or abbreviation is USDT. All right? So I encourage you guys to look in that. And we have Chad right here. I just wanted to retweet because it's so funny. Can you print fake money, like Tether, buy Bitcoin with it, and then say Bitcoin is backing your fake money? I just think it's hilarious and so true. And I know that we do see that even in world governments. So hypocrisy, it is everywhere. All right, now, I just wanted to share this again. It blows my mind. Bitcoin maxis are ignoring the elephant of the room, Tether. Yet, we're all focused and they're throwing dirt on Ripple and the XRP holdings in escrow. That is programmatically locked up. And you understand that the amount that's not sold gets thrown back into the next month. It started off with 55 billion for 55 months. I don't think people understand how it works. It's locked. It cannot be undone. So I'm not worried about that. But they can, do this, a sleight of hand trick, just like magicians. Look at this hand while I do something else with this hand. It happens all the time. All right, so Michael Val5 thinks Mexico may be forced to issue a digital peso, claims an economist. Failing to respond could be fatal, central bankers appear to feel. So I'm just going to speed through this before I get into my next important point and understand CBDC development is happening across the globe. Competition between BRICS nations, geopolitical tension, these digital cold wars. And yes, people are taking note. Central bank digital currencies, there's retail and wholesale. And yes, improving the domestic, cost, transparency, speed of this is vital. Last mile settlements, yes. Ripple is aiming to mitigate the more pressing matter of cross-border payments, which is often 10 times more expensive. So CBDCs, whether it's digital or whether it's fiat, Ripple can bridge that. It does not matter. CBDCs are not a threat. They cannot do what Ripple does. There's counterparty risk. I can go on and on and on. Go to galgatron.net and read some blogs just to get a very basic, foundational understanding, I guess I should say. All right. So Central Bank of Mexico, Bejico, could be driven to issue a central bank digital currency. Absolutely. I think within the next 5-10 years, without a doubt. And right here, one of the reasons that central banks have accelerated their work on CBDCs in the last 2 years is that something, cryptocurrencies and in particular Bitcoin with, Facebook Libra project now, this technology has started to become relevant. Yeah. And they're threatened overall. All right. So we'll see what happens. There's a lot of projects working on it, bridging it. Algo, QNT, XRP, XLM, so many use cases and so many things being built. All right. Next, so I wanted to share this. Full disclosure, I'm not talking badly about this platform. I'm just saying I do not use them and will not be using them. So we can see unprecedented demand for crypto sees eToro place limits on buy orders. You guys can see these recent tweets. This email has been unconfirmed. I'm just saying, a lot of fearful things right here. With eToro in an emerging trend. So right here, eToro has seen an unprecedented demand for our services from new users. January 8th, the Bitcoin bull run, everything's pushing up, everybody's good, stages of euphoria, they don't think it'll ever stop, Bitcoin's going to $1 million. To manage demand and ensure our existing community of 17 million registered users can continue to access our services uninterrupted. We have temporarily increased the minimum deposit amount of new users to $1,000. Interesting. So we'll see if this is actually confirmed. Talking about kind of limiting buys and purchases like that. Not to scare you guys, just inform you of possibilities. Full disclosure, this could be, garbage and fake. So don't just act like this is fact right there. All right. Next, so I wanted to share this, big for Stellar, and then we're going to talk more about XRP. XLM is one of my holdings residing on the Stellar blockchain. And just, German company uses Stellar blockchain to issue $24 million bond. So Vonovia housing company has issued the fully digital debt bond using the Stellar blockchain. We see Stellar blockchain integrated and being built on with many groups. Full disclosure, there is no direct mention of XLM that I saw. So correct me if I'm wrong down below. I hold XLM. I'm very confident in its performance in the future as a long-term investment, no doubt. Just wanted to let you guys know that. Digitalization offers the opportunity to finance ourselves faster, easier, more cheaply, and big thing is getting rid of these middlemen, getting rid of the issue of trust and counterparty risk. Efficiency will be big. There's going to be a variety of institutions and groups that value different blockchains for different use cases. So there's not one size fits all. It's not XLM. It's not XRP 100%. What I'm saying is that this market, this globe is so big that there is potentially massive opportunity for a lot of crypto assets, a lot of altcoins, potentially even altcoins you hold that could all do 100x in the future. And that is my honest opinion. Yes, I do not think we're out of the woods yet. There's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of FUD, regulations, Tether, but we are getting there. And that is what I'm excited and happy to be here for. Okay? So we'll keep going. XLM, saying acting like the news is what pumped it as always. So silly. Okay, so I already read through this, just the same kind of concept here. Security tokens used to transfer ownership, just another use case, guys. And there's going to be more use cases that we don't even know about, or that I wouldn't even know about in the future. Now, we've seen a lot of this, and remember this one in particular, 2019 HSBC. Remember, HSBC, JP Morgan, and Citi process 80% of all cross-border volume payments in the world. It goes through those groups. HSBC is a massive RippleNet partner, one of the biggest banks. In my opinion, one of the banks up with Deutsche Bank that are too big to fail, or classified as. Because, if one, died or went under, that would pose systemic risk to the others, because it is an ecosystem, it is a network. You don't want a node or validator to be down, because it could determine the health or on-ramps and liquidity into other regions. It's just an organism, so to speak, just like us. Okay? So right here, this is in 2019. I remember when this news came out, and this is just further validation of DLT is part of the future. So HSBC has settled over 11.6 million trades worth over $1.2 trillion. Sorry, I'm thinking of the DTCC. So 1.2 trillion using distributed ledger tech. Now, I know people speculated, was this on the XRP ledger issued as an IOU? Very possible, but nonetheless, that does not matter to me because I'm showing you what they're looking at. Key benefits include singularity, transparency, immutability, payment orchestration, confirmation, settlement, all automated, matching and netting transactions, reducing costs, reliance, reducing, on external settlement networks, exactly. Balance sheet optimization. There's going to be so many use cases, guys. And guess what? Crypto assets and DLT will not have to do all of this, but just enough. And it will ensure networks to be very, very valuable, whether it's a payments token, a utility token, or a security token. So just wanted to share that. Remember, Chris Larson also sits, I don't know if he still does, but executive chairman of Ripple, was on one of the boards for HSBC as well. All of these people are very smart. I think they're changing the game, and yes, they're all deeply related to some degree. All right. Also, wanted to give a massive shout out to Michael here, guys. Follow him if you are not. This is Val5Links. People like him in this community, so Links is Linx, are the people that keep me going. Now, I subscribe to all these main pages like CoinDesk and all that, and take it with a grain of salt, and I watch them every day. But people like him are providing information on Twitter for everybody. Giving a little summary, giving a synopsis, and posting, retweeting, sending it to me every single day. And I just wanted to say I would not be here without people like him as well. So I greatly thank Michael for all he does in this XRP community. I've talked to him a few times. He doesn't care about, getting recognized. He just puts out the information because he wants to share it, and he's excited just like me. All right. So, recent news that he did post, we have a new job position, Customer Service Director, CSD. They're going to be focusing out of Brazil. Remember, Brazil, central to the on-demand liquidity strategy for XRP for the company Ripple, one of the BRICS nations. We already know they're meeting with the central bank in the summer. And a lot of information leaked. A lot of us got excited. And I don't think that they're done in Brazil, guys. I think there's going to be a big future for XRP thanks to Brazil. And it's not even like these countries and these FIs are doing XRP a favor in terms of price appreciation. It's the exact opposite. XRP is going to be doing them a favor for all of the value adds that it can do. So the CSD will focus on deepening customer relationships by scaling their volume with existing connections. Awesome. Scaling their volume, scaling their proficiency, scaling profits. This is what I am behind, and this is what I'm investing in. XRP, yes, Ripple is a main proponent, but there's so many other ecosystems, businesses, and platforms using it now. And understand the top-down approach. Eventually, it will be completely or more so distributed than ever before. And arguably, XRP is more distributed, more decentralized than Ethereum and Bitcoin in terms of consensus and even in terms of holdings in the future. All right. Talked about KBC. I think we're almost done, and I can show you the funny stuff as well. And let me see if there's anything else I want to finish up with my rants, guys. This is one thing I wanted to point out. So in the months ahead, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. But The quote that we always preach: buy when there's blood in the streets, buy when the markets are red, even if the blood is your own. We all know this quote. We preach it in this volatile market. I do too. But when we're actually doing it and it's really happening, when the market is bloody and you're buying the dip, or when it's low and it keeps going down, it's terrifying. I'm not going to act like I'm not even scared. It's hard every single time. And everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. And yes, I know I'm quoting a lot of people today. Just wanted to share that. So all in all, before we finish up and show some funny things, listen to your research, not to the critics. Long-term investing beats out short-term profits, and other success, it does not intimidate me one bit. In actuality, guys, it should motivate you and reassure you that it is possible for you too. It's a lot easier and it feels a lot better being inspired and motivated by someone's success rather than deciding to be intimidated and jealous. So I'd rather be inspired and motivated and expand rather than get intimidated and be petty and contract. And I'm far from perfect. I get jealous at times, but I just kind of am preaching to myself, just like I'm saying this in this video. All right. And everybody you see that's successful, your role model in terms of health or, business or whatever, most successful people, they're all just completely average people. The only difference is that they just exercise a bit more discipline and stay consistent in their endeavors every single day. That's it. So again, I just wanted to emphasize that. Hopefully that speaks to some of you. I'm sure some of you are rolling your eyes whenever I talk like this, but so be it. I'm happy talking about this. All right. Also, another announcement, guys. So you remember the trader kevincage has huge price predictions for not only Bitcoin, but XRP. We're talking hundreds of dollars per his charts. If you guys want to follow him, he's a buddy of mine. We always go back and forth. Has always been polite. His old page, he's unable to sign into it. It is kevincage. So you guys can follow him here at CryptoJoker12. So he tagged me and Digital Asset Investor to spread the word. I see there's a lot of retweets. So just wanted to pass it on. All right. And so I wanted to talk about this too. So, sorry, this video is never ending. I can't wait to do videos when, XRP is over $1 again. People have no idea what it's like to do research every day and share it and just get, attacked. And the thing is, right now, investing right now, sharing this information now, informing yourselves, those that are doing the research now, watching these videos and doing their own research, that is what's going to make us the biggest returns. Believing in an investment when 99% of people do not, they give up or lose patience altogether. And I've seen all I need to see and just taking it right back to this quote, screenshot it, go to status.hr. This just keeps me motivated, adds fuel to the fire. Okay? And can't wait for videos when XRP is $38. And here's what my title would be. We told you for years when it was 30 cents. Everybody in the XRP community will be posting that. And I call this the little Thurman emoji. One of my buddies always does this. So just a shrug emoji. Another Martian report, another title. I just got lucky. That's all. Love that title. I'm going to steal that too. And then Xavier coming in. Got lucky, yes. Lucky to be born with a sense of patience, persistence, and unwavering strength to not fold against the pressures of the tidal waves of FUD that have been coming our ways for years. Right there with you. Exactly. And you guys remember all the crazy FUD that came when XRP was 25 cents? People actually sold. I got DMs and emails of people capitulating, selling all of it. Then went to 92 cents. Because remember that FUD campaign that basically fooled people and scared them out of their holdings. Time and time again it happens. Even if it takes a few months, I'm not going anywhere. I know how fast XRP can bounce. And it is always about expecting, or literally expect the unexpected. Okay? So last but not least, I wanted to share this. So a lot of things I tweet. Not everything is about XRP, the digital asset. It is about DLT. It's about adoption. Sometimes it's just about some fintech groups that I'm watching or money service businesses merging and having acquisitions. And I just want to keep tabs on them in different regions. Digitization is coming. DLT adoption is here, arguably, and it's going to be expanding. Now, Bank XRP, great researcher. He's been in this community much longer than me. And I encourage you guys to follow him if you are not already. I'm sure you are, Bank XRP. And he just shared this. It's so funny. So this is Ricky Gervais. Funny enough, Ricky Gervais, he says he's like half French Canadian. He doesn't even know how to pronounce his last name. He says it's Gervais. He says he switches it up too. So I just wanted to confirm it before I sounded like an idiot. And everybody comments, old news, nothing to do with XRP on all of my tweets. But I just wanted to show you this. This is Twitter in a nutshell. Finish this up, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Okay, I don't know who's following me. I've got 12 million followers. I don't know who's following me. They can be following me without me knowing, right? Choose to read my tweet and then take that personally. That's like going into a town square, seeing a big notice board, and there's a notice, guitar lessons, and you go, but I don't fucking want guitar lessons. this? There's a number here. All right, call that, right? Are you giving me guitar lessons? Yeah. I don't fucking want any. Fine.
Love it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.